Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we are discussing the Tudor Black Bay Chronograph Steel and Gold. Launched, as you see it here, for 2019, an evolution of the Black Bay Chrono that came out in 2017. So it's 41 millimeters in a combination of yellow gold and stainless steel. There are two different ways to measure the thickness. The case with the strap underneath is 16.2 millimeters, but if you strip away the bund style backing, the watch is only 14.3 millimeters thick, and that's an important note because it's very easy to convert this watch from bund style strap to conventional strap. You simply remove the bund and the watch converts to a leather strap without the bund backing. The spacing between the lugs is a broad 22 millimeters, and the lug-to-lug dimension is 50 millimeters across the wrist. Now I'm going to throw it on my wrist, first on the bund so you can get a look at it. Oops, upside down. And my wrist is 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see it wears larger here, but not too large. I can recommend it on this strap for a wrist as small as 15 centimeters circumference. It's not thin, not by any means, but it'll fit underneath a jack and cuff. Now the timepiece is nicely planted, and if you're ever wondering why we have these backings on bund-style straps, it's because the German armed forces in particular would use that backing for pilots to protect them from the extremes of temperature you find at altitude, both very hot and very cold, and that little backing piece would prevent the watch from conducting hot or cold into the wrist and potentially scalding or freezing the pilot. So now we have here a wonderful off-white sort of satination. It's a little bit of a fade to the contrasting stitch that matches the very light fauxtina treatment of the dial. It is a sueded, raw, almost unfinished kind of surfacing, and you can see on the bottom it's a more conventional suede. On the top you can see all of the impurities in the original animal hide. It is barely finished and highly unrefined for a purpose. It's designed to look like military issue, but you can see the strap is neither gouged nor crimped. It is a brand new Tudor factory strap. We have the Tudor shield, that is the clamshell lock. Unlock it, pop it open. You can see that it's a single fold steel deploying clasp. There are ceramic pin snaps in there so that the snap-tight tolerances will remain tight over time. The steel cannot wear down the ceramic. Notice that it has a combination of polish and satin. Attention to detail is good. And this little shield logo is the post-1968 logo of Tudor. You have the pre-1968 logo, the rose on the crown, so you get both of them. The crown is what's known as gold-capped because there is a steel core under it, but the chronograph pushers as well as the bezel, those are real 18-karat yellow gold. You can see that the lug profiles are surprisingly thin when you view them head-on. They're satinated on their top, polished on their side, and then there's a bevel designed to resemble the bevels that would have been shared on Rolex Tudor cases back when Rolex made the cases for both Rolex and Tudor, and those little hand bevels have long since disappeared on Rolex watches, and while these are laid down mechanically, they are a nod to the past. You can see that the watch features screw-down crown, screw-down pushers, 200-meter water resistant. We have a aluminum insert inside the bezel, and it's calibrated to 500 units for a tachymeter that allows you to gauge the speed of an object like a race car over a kilometer. There's yellow gold chaptering around the dial. We have applique indices. We have snowflake-style hands, reminiscent of the late 60s to mid-70s Tudor Submariner snowflake dials. And then we have dished sub-registers for constant seconds and chronograph minutes. The watch does include a slightly off-white date disc, which I adore. They could very easily have just made that silver white, and it would have ruined the effect of the dial. But this watch is well composed, as the indices match the hands, match the disc, match the stitching in the strap. So there's a wonderful holistic design effort here by Tudor's folks. We have hacking or stop seconds. We also have a quick set for the date. The watch features a vertical clutch, which means it engages smoothly with no stagger or jump to the seconds hand when you start it. And you can leave the chrono running full-time with no hazard, wear, or tear to the movement. That's the advantage of the vertical clutch. There's also a column wheel for crisp operation. Now, Tudor calls this caliber MT5813. I call it a Breitling B01 modified by Tudor. It has a 70-hour power reserve, a COSC chronometer certification. It beats 8 times per second. You've got the hacking seconds, the quick set date, the column wheel, and the vertical clutch. But you have a few things you don't find on the Breitling version. For one, the minute register here is 45 minutes, whereas the Breitling is a 30. For another, Tudor makes some changes to the balance structure. They go with a free sprung balance, that allows the watch to be a little bit more precisely adjusted to better earn the COSC certification, but also to better withstand shock. It also has a Tudor silicone hairspring, which gives greater anti-magnetic properties than you'll find on the B01 in a Breitling application. Although I didn't really show you the case back, you can see it is a screw-in solid case back. There's nothing to see on the reverse side. Let's do a quick loom shot. You can see the watch is highly loomed. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.